Why does debt collectors depend on emotional pressure? Why does debt collectors depend on emotional pressure? So y'all, I hope you're doing well today. Today we got another video for you. In today's video, I want to talk about the emotional pressures that these debt collectors put on people, you know, when it comes to paying bills or paying them or whatever. You know, they put a lot of, they prey on this. And the number one reason is fear. And number two is urgency. They're going to trap you with fear and urgency. Oh, you got to pay this real quick. You got to pay this. Hurry up. You got to hurry up and pay this. You know what I'm saying? Or they entrap you. Or if you don't pay this, we're going to sue you. You know. Or they use some type of tactic, you know, along those two lines. If you ever pay attention, that's what it all boils down to. Really and truly. But first things first, this is not legal advice. I do not offer legal advice. If you want legal advice, I suggest you find yourself a competent professional, and please be advised. The views and opinions of me, the host Raphael Bird, does not reflect any of the views and opinions of any platform that hosts Blind Intelligence. Welcome to the show. What's up, y'all? Go back to what I was saying. You know, it all boils down to fear and urgency. That's the game they play. That's the game they play. But the thing is, the thing about it, they have to have a player. They have to have an opponent. They got the components, and they making the rules. They making their rules. But you got a set of rules that they don't want to adhere to, because it's going to supersede their rules. You know what I'm saying? And that's understanding and that's your rights. Those are the only rules you need, is knowing what your rights are. Because that's going to kill everything. Then you're going to go into the consumer law. You're going to look at consumer law, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You know, see, that's going to kill all that. That's going to kill fear, anxiety, all that stuff. You're going to be just like this, and yeah, whatever. You should not be paying Midland funding. You're going to know why you shouldn't be paying Midland funding. If you didn't take a loan out with Midland funding, you're going to know why you didn't pay Midland funding. You don't need to pay Midland funding. You don't need to pay portfolio recovery. If you don't have a contract with them with your blue wet ink signature, you're going to know why. But once you know what your rights are, once you have a clear understanding of your rights, see, I heard someone say before, people always talk about remedies. Well, your rights is within the remedy. That's your remedy, is your rights. That's your right. Your rights. That's your rights. That's how you get your remedy. It's all intertwined. They say, well, what's my remedy? What's my remedy? Your rights. Knowing what your rights are. See, you need to come up out of your mindset of trying to get out of stuff. How can I get out of paying these people, and you owe them? Number one, first of all, you know you in dishonor, right? Do you know that you are in dishonor when you know that you have taking out a loan and you don't pay it back. Don't you know you in dishonor? See, and a lot of people, they do that purposely. They take out the loan and purposely think they're going to discharge it. They think they're going to make it go away with consumer laws, Uniform Commercial Code statutes, and all this other stuff. Your goal is to remain in honor at all costs, no exceptions. Now, like I said before in my last video, we take out these loans and we take out more than what we need. They say, well, we're going to give you qualify for $2,000 and you only need $500. But like many of you will say, give me the $2,000 since I qualify for it. Now you're spending money that you can't. Now you're spending money you don't need, and you're paying back what you can't afford. How do you like those apples? Because that's what it is. See, when I'm telling you what you have done, you have created a problem that you can't solve. See what I'm saying? You just created a problem that you can't solve. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you create a problem that you can't solve? See, that's what this is about. See, let me tell you something. I'm more on the realistic side of things, and I don't knock nobody else. None of these gurus out here that talks about consumer law, that talks about, about your credit report and giving updates. I don't knock none of that. That's good information. But I'm on a realistic side of things. I'm more into the approach. Okay, I can go and you can get your credit fixed. You can get a charge off removed. You can get a bankruptcy removed. Late payments. You get all that stuff removed. Have A1 credit. I mean, get it all up to par to where that thing says 700. Get a 700 credit score. Everything's all said and done. The last report you make, they say your credit is clear. All three consumer agencies. That your credit reports are clear. And you have now updated to maybe a 720 or something like that. You're in the 700 club. Congratulations. And you're climbing. But let me explain it to you in layman's terms. If you don't clean up your behavior, your 720 credit score is going to drop right back down to that 520. If you came from willy-nilly spending, being irresponsible, and you're still in that mentally, so a person cleaning up your consumer report is not going to make a difference. You got 20 credit cards. You don't know the 70-30 rule. I'm talking about this realistically. You don't understand the 70-30 rule. You're taking out more money than you need as far as your loans is concerned. Yeah, I qualify for $2,000, but I only need $5,000. Give the $1,500 back. See, you can fix the report, but the person, you, has to be fixed. I say this all the time. If you don't fix yourself, you're gonna fall right back into the same rut you came out of. And you're gonna, if you don't call me to come fix your consumer report, you're gonna call someone else to fix your consumer report. Because you don't want me to know. You ain't gonna want me to know because I didn't fix it before. You don't want me to know that you fell back in the same habits of your spending habits. That's what this is about. This ain't no different than the Gordon Ramsay's cooking shows, cooking kitchen nightmare shows I watch. It's the same thing. He gonna fix the restaurant. Just like what the cat named cat John something Cafferty or something like that. That he does bar rescues. You can fix the bar. You can fix the restaurant. You can fix the consumer report. You can fix the house. You can fix the car. You can fix you can get a whole new wardrobe. Do whatever you want to do. But if you don't fix the person that's directing it, you know what I'm saying? Which is you. The car gonna break down again, ain't gonna be fixed. The house gonna look a mess, ain't gonna be fixed. The credit report gonna suck. Your bank account gonna look ugly. Your business is gonna look bad. Your bar gonna look bad. You know what I mean? Your restaurant gonna look bad. Your bar gonna look bad. You gotta fix the person. And that's you. You gotta fix yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about, isn't it? It's not really about your credit report. It's not about your credit report. Once again, I said that all can be fixed. As soon as you get it fixed, yes, I can go back and do what I was doing again. Or I just need another chance. What? You need another chance of what? See, if you don't become the millionaire, when the money comes, it's going to leave you just as fast as it came. I remember Jim Rome said that. He said, well, I guess I better become a millionaire so I can keep the money. And I didn't catch it at first. I didn't catch it. It took me a while. I kept looking, listening to his videos. Just listening, kept listening. I understand now. Because what made me understand, he had one of his videos, he said, it's not what I'm getting here, it's what I'm becoming here. He said it just like that. See, and it's true. It's not what you get, it's what you become. And I can be a witness to that. I can be a witness to that. Because me sitting here talking to you, had I not been recording myself on my recorder, talking about, giving myself self-affirmations, and just, that prepared me to propel me here. You know what I'm saying? That prepared me to propel me here to talk to you. See, it's what you become in the process of what you're trying to achieve. Because you'll never achieve it until you become what it is that you are trying to achieve. If you want to have a good credit report, You got to become the person who exemplifies having a good credit report, making those decisions that you don't want to make, having the disciplines that you want to have, that you need to have in order to maintain your credit report. Watch your spending. Know what your incomes and your outcomes are, because that's what this means. You being disciplined. See, the credit report can be fixed. Just the way you jacked it up, the way you can jack it down. You know what I'm saying? You let it up, you can let it back down. But what are you going to do? For example, you got to jack a car when you change a tire, right? You got to jack a car when you're changing the transmission fluid, right? Okay. So, and eventually you got to let it back down. Well, the thing is that if you don't have the mindset to change that tire, if you don't have the mindset to change that transmission fluid, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna jack it up, you're gonna halfway do it, and you're gonna let it go about it, and it's gonna sit there. You're gonna have discipline. Complete the transmission fluid, complete the tire, and jack it down. Right now it's all jacked up. And you're not doing nothing. Your credit is all jacked up like that car, and you're not doing nothing. If that car remains jacked up, that means something ain't done, or something needs to be done. If your consumer report is jacked up, that means something ain't done, something needs to be done. Same difference. And until you fix it, you fix that consumer report, you fix that car. That's the only time when it's gonna jack down. See my point? Yo, I'm trying to get you through this. See, I'm not finna come. Like I told you before, I'm not finna do all this. I'm not finna do all this corporate stuff. You know, because listen, it's too much competition out here in this podcast space. I'm not finna do it. I'm finna just tell you exactly what it is. Your intelligence is blind. Your intelligence is blind. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. Your intelligence, when you're dealing with your credit, is blind. Because the thing about it is that until you get them blinders off and understand what your rights are, you're going to remain like that. You got to get them off. You got to get them blinders off of you. You got to become disciplined. But do you want to do it? It's up to you. Many of you will, many of you won't. Many of you just want to get to the next point so you can qualify for the next loan. So you can qualify for the next loan so you can mess up the bread. If I can just have just that one little chance. You know you say that. You know you say it. Just want that little chance. Just get that qualified. You get qualified for that. I'll do right. And when you get qualified for more than what you're supposed to, wrongdoing comes. I was reading this book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. I suggest you get it. Oh, and look, let me say, speaking on books, look, also get the book, Mosiah of Pepperwick by Gene Perry. That's a real good book. Has nothing to do with credit, but I just wanted to throw it out there because that's a real good read. You know what I'm saying? You know, Outwitting the Devil don't have anything to do with credit either, but it's a good read. But yeah, but check out that book, Mosiah of Pepperwick. You know, it's about a young boy named Mosiah, and it's during the times of slavery. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the, you know, out there in the, you know, he was a kid, black kid trying to escape, you know, his situation. It's well, you were tied into credit. He trying to escape his situation, but his circumstances wouldn't let him. The circumstance wouldn't let him. It wasn't something that he was doing. It was just his circumstance. No matter which way he had to use what he had and to understand who he was and what he had in order to, you know, but see, he had to escape it from his mind first. You know what I'm saying? He had to escape from his mind first. Man, that kid got beat up and everything. No, if he tried to run away, the folks caught him and they beat him up and sent him right back and put him on the rice farm. Man, that's a real good book. You need to check it out. Check it out, all right? But I digress. But read that book, Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil. The devil, he has, Napoleon Hill says he has an interview with the devil, and the devil is talking to him. And I remember distinctively, he says, I dangle coins in front of you and I snatch them away. You know what that is? That's called discipline. I dangle coins in front of you and then I snatch them away. What does that got to do with discipline? That means that if you're qualified for $2,000 and you only need $5, that $2,000, those are coins being swayed in front of you. And you snatch it. The snatch away part comes from you're not being able to pay it back, and that's how he snares you into your trap. Your trap of being irresponsible. Your trap of being greedy. Your trap of of being undisciplined. The greedy mind is an undisciplined mind. Huh? The greedy mind is an undisciplined mind. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, you need to get that book. That's a real good book. Outwitting the Devil. Yeah, that's a good book. Very good read. Read it from cover to cover. Me personally, I like the audio book. You know, of course, I'm visual. I'm totally blind, but I still can get the book because I got scanning material that I can, read it on. But I like the audio book. You know why? Because the characters in that book, the character of the devil is very, very. He has a very eerie voice, but I guess it was meant to be that way because the theatrics of it and the antics of it puts you there in understanding what's being conveyed, the message is being conveyed. You know what I'm saying? And it does take you away from, everything. I mean, it does. And it really puts you there in what's being said. You'll listen to the content. You'll listen to the content, not the context. You'll be listening to the content more with those antics that he got. You know what I'm saying? In the audio version, I really like the audio version. You know what I'm saying? But it's a real good read. Do you know what hypnotic rhythm is? Because this is something, that when you understand what hypnotic rhythm is, then you'll understand how you could possibly get caught up with your credit. Because in owing and taking out loans and things, because you can get in a hypnotic rhythm with taking out loans. Taking out loans is like stealing. You just got to pick up something. You just got to take something. I just got to get that loan. If I qualify for it, I just got to get it, even though I don't qualify. Even though I qualify, even though I don't need the bread. And you'll find a reason why you need the bread. You'll sabotage yourself just so you can need the bread. The money. You sabotage yourself just so you can need the money. So you can take out the loan. Hey, listen. Hey, it is what it is. Whether you believe it or you do not. But those are the facts. You have to fix your behavior. And all these problems you have with credit. And get yourself educated. Get yourself educated. Education is free. It's a lot of tutorials. It's a lot of good tutorials on YouTube. It's a lot of good tutorials. You know what I'm saying? You could go into chat, get your subscription, and go into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will teach you. If you put in the right prompts, if you prompt that thing right, it will teach you, and you have lessons. It happened to me, because I'm studying this bash scripting, and I'm looking at the for loop statements. Do you know I understand for loop statements just by looking at ChatGPT? So what does that mean for you? And I'm totally blind, blacked out. When you close your eyes is what I see. So what's your excuse? Hey, we're just having a conversation. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm trying to lift you up. I'm trying to get you to a place where fear and doubt is no longer in your protocols. Because you'll never escape your credit and debt problems if fear and doubt is in your life. Guarantee you that. Fear and doubt. And look, we understand fear, but man, doubt. I'm gonna do one on that. We're gonna talk about that one day, about doubt, cause that ain't no joke. Doubt, man. Will this work? Will this? Can this happen for me? Doubt, man. I'm leery. Doubt. I'm leery about doubt. That's doubt. And what kills doubt is confidence. Confidence. I know I didn't take out that loan. That stuff should not be on my consumer report. I know I don't owe Midland Funding. Why has Midland Funding reported this on my consumer report without my permission? 15 USC 1681. Yeah, 1681. 1681. B. Permissible purpose. 15 USC 1692. G, validation. Remember those. But what I'm mainly speaking about is the reporting, and that's 15 U.S.C. 1681. You know, permissible purpose, that's B. You know, because if you were confident that you didn't take that loan out with them, that right there should need to get off your report. Why is that there? But you got to know this. And this is how you know, then you know how to fight. Fight fire with fire. Y'all want to play? Okay, let's play. Consumer law is my little friend. I hope if you're viewing this video and you're in that and you're in some of those Facebook chats and you're viewing this video, or if you're not, even if you're not, share this video out to someone. Because let me tell you something. I know you're going through it. I know you're going through it. You $5,000 ain't it. You might be owing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, maybe $100,000. You might be in debt that high. You know what I'm saying? Midland Funding coming after you. Portfolio Recovery they're coming after the big tickets. If you're a big ticket, they're gonna come after you. But let me say this to you before I go. The big ticket ain't no different than the little ticket, because consumer law covers all of it. Consumer law covers all of it. Don't think because you $50,000 in debt that consumer law ain't gonna cover it. I ain't got no contract with Midland Funding or Portfolio Recovery. Why is they contacting me? I'm reading this document. But a lot of y'all read the document, y'all look at the document, y'all know y'all don't owe me, y'all throw it away. And when they send you a summons in the mail, now you want to tense up and put in and start querying, going into the Facebook chat rooms and asking questions, because you ignored the letters. It's called an administrative process. That's what it's called. And that's what they're doing. Your silence tells them that it's going to tell the judge you owe them. Because you're going to agree without protest. Now you got a summons in the mail, the sheriff knocking on your door, boom, boom, you got embarrassed. Now you gotta file an answer before you go to court. What you gonna say? Oh, I'll just go on Facebook and find out. Maybe somebody in there tell me. Or I'm gonna hire me an attorney. Let's see what they gonna tell me. Look, I don't knock attorneys, but a lot of these attorneys out here, they out to get money. All of them. ALL. They like them darn debt collectors. Some of them are like debt collectors because some of them are debt collectors. And they say, yeah, we're gonna help you. And they're gonna let your case drag. You're gonna pay them and they're gonna let your case drag. Put in a few paperwork and it's over. No. You gotta fight this. I'm going to court. Summons, alright, let's go. We on. Let's do it. I'm gonna file my answer. It's not what you know, it's what they can prove. It's not what you know, it's what they can prove. I know what I'm saying. Don't get it screwed up. Raphael Bird know what you're talking about. It's not what you know, it's what they can prove. Because they asserting it. The one who asserts the case is the one who got to prove it. So you can know whatever you want to know, but it's what they can prove, and they can't prove nothing. But you're going to go in there with your ammunition in your admonitions. Because if they come at you, affidavits, whatever, boom, 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 you're going to come up with your own affidavits. Because their affidavits don't mean squat. Because you can't rebut an affidavit. You can't cross-examine, you can't rebut or cross-examine an affidavit. So you need to be objecting to it. You have a right to face your accuser. If they're accusing you of something, right? Alright. Going in the right formats. You got to go into court with the right formats. You need to know the procedure. The right format paperwork. And you'll win. That's it for me. Leave me a comment. And stay encouraged.